Hey guys, time for another chill builds. This time is going to be on Aragorn, the King of Gondor. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I won this the precon that he's the alternate commander in a giveaway, and I think it's the only giveaway I've ever really won. There might have been others that I can't think of, but I'm pretty sure this is the only giveaway I've ever won. So I wanted to make the deck, but I'm in a bad situation right now, living-wise, and so I can't play Magic. So my thought process was, why would I build a deck that when I can't play Magic? But hopefully we'll get out. I'm gonna get out of that bad situation soon. So I thought it'd be fun to have an Aragorn deck list ready to go for when I do move, and I thought I would make it a chill builds. Aragorn is one blue, red, white for a legendary human noble. It's got vigilance and lifelink. ETB, you become the monarch, and whenever it attacks, target creature can't block this turn. If you're the monarch, nothing can block this turn. So basically, you get the monarchy and you keep it forever. You try your best to. What the deck wants is monarchy and humans as the themes, but I already have Selesnya humans because I accidentally was given the Selesnya humans precon from Crimson Vow Midnight Hunt. I think it was Midnight Hunt back when that came out because I ordered the zombie deck, but they gave me that one instead by accident. Amazon did. So I don't want two human decks, so I'm going to make the other half of this instead of humans. There's going to be some human typal stuff, but the other half is going to be legendary creatures matter, or legendary matters in general, I guess. So that's the thing I'm aiming for, monarchy and legendary matters. So I guess we'll start with that. I'm going to start with monarchy, because that seems like the thing that will have less cards to go through, but I don't know. Um, I've read some of these cards, but the main thing is that I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings. So there's not going to be any like, I know that guy, or that's weird because in the book, like X or Y. Don't know anything about Lord of the Rings. The second thing is that I have the list of cards in the precon in another tab right now. You can't see it, but I do. Um, for reference, because there's going to be expensive cards in here, or cards that I miss that I'm going to put in that are expensive. Like I reprinted in the precon, so I already have it. I'm wording things really poorly. I have the deck list for the precon in another tab, so I can see what expensive cards are in it, so I can add them to the deck without worrying about my budget, because I already own the cards. So let's start with Monarchy stuff. Um, Archivist of Gondor. When your commander deals combat damage to a player, if there is no Monarch, you become the Monarch. Oh, okay. I was confused. I'm like, isn't that how Monarchy works to begin with? And it's like, well, no. It makes it so even if there is no Monarch, this triggers. Okay. And then at the beginning of the Monarch's end step, that player draws 2 cards instead of 1. Mm, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna add it. You draw 2 cards when you're the Monarch, but your opponent does if they're the Monarch too. Which is weird, but I'm all for it. Archon of Coronation. Birdman. Is an Archon the burb or the man on the burb? He's got a cool looking weapon. Flying, ETB, you become the Monarch. As long as you're the Monarch, damage doesn't cause you to lose life, but you still lose the Monarchy if you're attacked. I like it. I'm up for it. It could probably save me a bunch of times. Um, Azor Fleet Admiral. ETB, you become the Monarch. Azor Fleet Admiral cannot be blocked by creatures the Monarch controls. That seems really good as a way to get the Monarchy back. I will say that my original idea was to stick to just Lord of the Rings cards, so that the deck is flavorful. But I realized that like doing that for Warhammer makes sense because my partner's really into Warhammer and it'd be cool. Doing that for Doctor Who makes sense because I really like Doctor Who and it means a lot to me. Doing it for this doesn't make sense because I don't care about Lord of the Rings. So I don't care about this kind of thing, so we're all good there. When Canal Courier enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. Whenever it and another creature attack different players, this card can't be blocked. I don't think that's If it was both can't be blocked, that'd be cool. But because it's just it, and you have to attack 2 different players, I don't think it's that good, especially not for 6 mana. Sorry in advance, by the way, I do have a soda, and I will be drinking that throughout the video, I guess. So we're gonna go for no on her. I also have a bit of a sore throat. Not really a sore throat, I'm coughing a lot, so if that happens, I apologize. Um, Champions of Minas Tirith? Lord of the Rings fans are gonna come at me. 5 and a white. ETB, you become the Monarch. Okay, that's what most of these cards do. At the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, if you're the Monarch, that opponent may pay X, where X is the greatest is the number of cards in their hand. If they don't, they can't attack you this combat. They can play stuff from their hand to get out of it, but I'm thinking too hard into Yu-Gi-Oh territory because they need a lot of mana to play everything in their hand, and their hands are usually more full. So I'll do it. It might not be worth 6 mana, but I'm up for it. It's worth more than this card, I think. These cards are kind of too expensive. Like, I don't want to pay $5 or $6 for a deck that I'm not super connected to. Like, I would do this for Gitrog, or like Stray Fawn, or Prosper, like a deck that I'm super interested in and have a connection to. But not this deck, I don't think. Okay, Court of Grace. 2 white white, so 4 mana. ETB, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. If you're the Monarch, you create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying instead. Hmm. There is like kind of a go wide theme to this, so I'm gonna go with that. Court of Ire, same, oh, not the same thing. I thought this would also be like $4 or $5. ETB, become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, Court of Ire deals 2 damage to any target. If you're the Monarch, it deals 7 instead. That seems pretty good, so I'll run it. Eh, I'll put it in the sideboard as like a maybe option. For reference, if you haven't watched the others, I don't even know if I mentioned this in the others, I think I did. The sideboard in this context is just cards that I might add, but I am not 100% sold on yet. Like, it's not, I know Commander doesn't have a sideboard. Whoops. Nah. When it enters the battlefield, become the Monarch. That's it. It's just a 5/2 trampler with ETB become the. We already have a lot of ETB become the Monarchs. So, no. ETB become the Monarch. Can't attack unless defending player is the Monarch. So this is a 5 mana 4/4 with downside. That's. I assume that's an old card. Like, I feel like this would be like a 7/7 or an 8/8 as like a ooh, it's like a big creature for less mana than normal, but you can only attack the Monarch. But eh. Crown of Gondor. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. Okay, there's a slight go wide theme, so I'm sold so far. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, it fits with the Legendary Matters theme. If there's no Monarch, you become the Monarch. Equip 4, equip 1 if you're the Monarch. I'll go for it. I like it. I like it. Uh, Denethor? Denethor. Denethor. That's clearly not his name. Whenever it enters the battlefield, scry 2. Sacrifice it. Target opponent becomes a Monarch. Target player becomes a Monarch. Deal 3 damage to any target. There's cool politics stuff with it, where like, I could have this out and I'm like, hey, person B. I assume I'm person A because it's I don't know. Person B, I'll let you become the Monarch if you don't attack me next turn or something. So there's a slight political aspect to it that I like. I'm cool with it. Amberwild Captain, I don't know what this does, but I was told it's like a super important card for Monarch, so I'm gonna add it. But for brevity, is brevity the right word? ETB, become the Monarch. Okay, same as a lot of these things. Whenever an opponent attacks you while you're the Monarch, deal damage to that player equal to the number of cards in their hand. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Eomer? 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 Whatever. Double strike. ETB with a +1/+1 counter for each other human you control. ETB, target player becomes the Monarch. Yeah, deal damage equal to its power to any target. Sure. There's not going to be a human type theme, but there is going to be a bunch of humans in here, because I think a lot of the legendary creatures from Lord of the Rings are human. So I assume that there's just going to be a lot of human stuff in here. Fall from favor. Didn't this card ruin a format or something? I think Palver. Enchant creature. Tap enchanted creature, you become the Monarch. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller and tap step unless that player is a Monarch. That seems really good because I could put it on a threat to everybody at the table, and everybody else would like. I could say if that person gets through to me, their creature untaps, so they'll try to help protect me or whatever. That could be neat. Whenever a legendary creature with mana value 4 or greater enters the battlefield, under your control, you become the Monarch. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, if you're the Monarch, create two 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. That's pretty good because it combos with him. And, I don't know, it's just a good card. We're going to have a decent number of legendaries, so. Fealty to the Realm. Enchant creature. Enters the battlefield to become the Monarch. The Monarch controls enchanted creature. Enchanted creature basically is goated. Okay, this is just a neat card. I like the aspect of it constantly changes control depending on who's the Monarch. And that, like, even when you have it, there's a downside in that it has to attack. I'm up for running it. It seems fun. More so a for fun card than it's a good card. Fourth, Aerolingus. $18, but it looks like a Lord of the Rings card. And I think the person on this card is in the precon, so I'm gonna see if it's in the precon. Sorceries. Sorry about that interruption. I'm back. It is in the precon, I think. Yep, it's in the precon, so we'll add it. Uh, I'm gonna assume this is not a Monarch card. Yep, it's not. It just has Monarch in the name. Okay, ETB, you become the Monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you're the Monarch, creatures you control can't be blocked this turn. That's the same thing as Aragorn. I don't think I'm gonna run that. It'd be cool to have a second Aragorn, but I don't really want to run it, I guess. Oath of Eorl. Eorl? Again, I don't know any of this shit. I don't know how this is pronounced or anything. Saga, that's weird. Well, I guess it is a legendary permanent, so they could. Oh. I thought all sagas were legendary. I thought all sagas were legendary until this exact moment. What the hell? Create 2/1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. That's good. Create 2/2/2 human knight creature tokens with trample and haste. That's good. Put an indestructible counter on a human. You become the monarch. That just seems good. Sure. Mana is a bit iffy for a color combo that doesn't really have a ton of ramp, but that should be fine. ATB become the monarch. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until an opponent becomes the monarch. Because it's any opponent, I'm going to say no. If it was that opponent, like that creature's owner, um, or if it was a creature that I control, because I could exile one of the dudes that's ETB, you become the monarch, and then the second they take the monarchy away from me, I would get it back because it would come back. If it was one of those two things, sure. I'm not going for that like that though. ETB become the monarch. Everything's ETB become the monarch. I'm good. When protector of the crown enters the battlefield, become the monarch. Any damage that be dealt to you is dealt to protector of the crown instead. I get the idea. I don't really like it. That's for slivers. Flying, ETB become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you're the monarch, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. I like it. Nothing to do with monarchs. That's just an ETB become the monarch. Throne warden, nah. And then that just seems like an okay land. Okay. Let's see how we're doing. In terms of cards, numbers. Numbers. I don't know. Um, oh, we only have 15 cards in the main deck. That's surprising. So that's every monarchy card we're running apparently. I think that's fine. A lot of these make me the monarch repeatedly, or it's easy to you only need to become the monarch once. Okay, so I guess that's the first aspect of this deck. The second is going to be legendary matters cards, and then for the third, I'm going to look over the precon and add generic and staple cards that we're missing. So that should be good. If you heard a click, um, if you heard a click sound, I have to use the on-screen keyboard because my G key on my keyboard is broken at the moment. So, I apologize for that. Okay, legendary. This should be legendary matter stuff. Let's see what we got. When a claimed contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight or equipment or legendary artifact card. No, it has to be a legendary artifact, and we don't have a lot of knights, and we're not going to have a lot of equipment, I don't think. So, eh. Um, no, that's nothing that's kind of Doctor Who specific. That's where I draw the line. Um, all your green cards gain bans with other legends. I need to run 6 of that. What the hell? I'm running 6 of it. Hell yeah. I don't know. Uh, I can't type 1. I actually... the hubris of my jokes. I have to actually delete it one by one. That's fine. Your devotion to each color and the combination of colors is increased by one. Nah. Tap. I don't control. I don't own gods, dragons, or legendary enchantments in this deck. So. And to rule the flame of the west. Equip creature gets +3/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. If that's legendary, instead create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. Isn't that a downside? I guess it's not. I'll add 1. It's only $2. It's not, you know. The spell costs 1 less to cast if you control 2 or more legendary creatures. So, it costs 1 less to cast. It becomes 2 blue, scry 2, draw 2. That seems good. I'll go for it. I don't want to do Doctor Who cards in this because I don't mind doing Magic and Lord of the Rings mixed together. Doctor Who, Lord of the Rings, and Magic together seems weird as like one deck. I would, but I don't want to. It's not worth the money, I don't think, for the deck I'm playing. First Dark Menace, whenever you cast a first, it's a source spell each turn. You may cast a spell with lesser mana value. Choose a card type with it from your hand. If you don't create a, okay. I mean that doesn't really do much. That just creates a token that happens to be legendary. Nah, not my thing. This might be something, so I'll go for it. Blackblade Reforged I know is really good. Untap target non-legendary creature, then gain control of it until the end of the... That's just for non-legendary. That's the opposite of what I want. Bounty Agent. Sacrifice it. Destroy target legendary permanent. Okay, that's anti-me, I guess. Legend rule doesn't apply to tokens. Okay. Whenever another non-legendary permanent enters the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. Okay. That seems really good. All your white legends gain band with other legends. I'm running 6 of... No, I'm not doing that joke again. I'm not depleting... Like, I'm not gonna undo like that 6 times at Roman again. Nah. Is there like a cheaper version, or is it... If it's cheap, I don't mind. I just don't want to pay $3 for a card that doesn't seem as good as like a Swiftfoot Boots in this instance. So I'm gonna say no. Because I don't care about the +2/+2 much, and Swiftfoot Boots is better, I think. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, draw a card. As long as enchant creature is legendary, it gets +1/+1 as ward 1. That seems pretty okay. That's Doctor Who stuff, right? Yeah. No. Nah. Non-legendary stuff. I don't want to do Doctor Who stuff. No. Whenever it attacks, choose target creature you control and roll a d20. Create a tapped and attacking. Oh, see, that's the hard part. This is all going to be all the cards that mention the word legendary anywhere. So that's difficult. Again, that's for non-legendary. There's not a ton in here. Oop. Whenever one or more attacking legendary creatures you control die, untap all creatures you control. After this phase is an additional combat phase. Seems pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls a greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors. That seems pretty good. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Then if you control a legendary creature, then if you don't control a legendary creature, so it's just ETB draw a card. There's better versions of that. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. This ability costs so 2 and a white. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. That doesn't seem that good. So we're gonna say no to that. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. I have a bad memory with this card where I believe the set came out and this card was like pre-selling for like 80 cents or something. I bought 3 copies of it, one for my Prosper, one for my partner's Niv Mizzet deck, I think, and then one for my... I think it was for a vampire deck that I was building. And then the seller canceled never sent the transactions, gave me a refund of like the $1.50, and then these cards shot up to like $15. So like I hate this card so much because of that. I already added that. Legendary creatures you control get +2/+1 and have ward 1. And all legendary creatures you control get +1/+1. Seems good. I'm up for $2 or so. Double strike. Whenever another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on this card. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure. That seems good. I'll go with that. Sure. I guess we have more equipment than I thought. Target creature gets +3/+2 until the end of the turn. If it's legendary, it also gains trample. Not interested, really. Anti-legendary thing. Oh, I remember this card. Yes, this card's good. Each legendary permanent you control has ward 2. Just good in general. Add colorless. Tap 1 edit, add 2 mana of combination of colors. Spend this mana only cast legendary spells. That seems really good. When Gishnak, Brash Investigator enters the battlefield, the Mass Orcs 2. Gain control of target non-legendary. Okay. Exile target non-legendary creature. Equipped creature gets +3/+2. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield, you may tap. No, I'm not interested in it. Hero's Heirloom seems okay. I'll probably take out a bunch of this equipment because a lot of them are probably redundant, and I'm not listening. I'm not paying full attention to that part of the thing. I don't know. Untap another permanent. Untap on 2 other target legendary creatures. I'll go with it. That's $4, so no. I don't really want to like Planeswalkers much. Sacrifice another creature, reveal cards on top of your library, and 2 reveal a non-legendary. Okay. Don't want to mix Doctor Who stuff in here. When it attacks, create Ragavan, and it creates a legendary token. This creates a non-legendary. This is for non-legendary? Oh. Eh. No. No. I think we might be done with the legendary stuff, but I'll keep going. There. Whenever another legendary enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your giver to your hand. Depends on how many artifacts we have. I'll put that in the maybes. Sideboard, you know. Sacrifice loyal retainers. Return target legendary creature card from giver to the battlefield. Activate only during your turn before attackers are declared. That seems okay. This just makes the legendary token, right? Yeah, legendary token. Legendary token. I'll put this one in the sideboard, I guess. Midnight Pathlighter. That's for dungeons. That has nothing to do with this. Okay. I don't like exiling shit from the graveyard, so I don't think I'm gonna run Mines of Moria. It just non-legendary, legendary. Okay, so this could cost. I don't know if. I guess 2 mana, scry 1, draw 1 each turn is good. I'll put that in the sideboard too. I didn't think I would use the sideboard this much. Each other creature becomes a copy of target non-legendary creature. That's the opposite of what I want. Mithril Coat's a bit too expensive. That makes it a legendary thing. Non-legendary. Return target creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you gain life equal to that mana cost. No, I'm good with that. Okay, that just makes something else legendary. I'd go for this, but it's like $3. I don't. And I'm already gonna get one for Giganta. I'm actually a little tired. I probably shouldn't be recording this, but we're like 20-30 minutes in now, so I'm gonna keep going. Target creature gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn. If it's an enchantment creature legendary. That doesn't seem. No. I pulled a Rivendell, so in the pre-con where they gave you like a pack or whatever. Creature you control have haste seems good. It depends. I'm gonna put it to the sideboard. It depends how many good activated abilities that we want to do. Too expensive, don't like planeswalkers. All your blue legends gain bandwidth of the legends. Holy hell, we need to run 3 of this. I don't know. See, this is tough because none of this matters. It's just 2 and a white. Search your library for a legendary card, put it in your hand. But I'll put it in the. I'll go for it. There's a lot more legendary matter. Well, I guess this isn't legendary matter stuff. This is just stuff that mentions the word legendary anywhere in the text. So, but whatever. Eh. I'm just skimming these cards mostly now because I feel like we have a lot of cards to go through. Okay. I don't think we have a lot of knights. Circle of Wotu doesn't seem that good. I think I have a Greyhaven, so I'm cool with... Yeah, I remember that being good. Yeah. God, the Iron Crag. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have this become a legendary equipment artifact named Everflame the Hero's Legacy. If you do, it gains equip 3 and equip creatures +3/+3 and loses all of other abilities. It's like not good to me, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So, I'll sideboard this. This seems cool, but we'll see. Uh, non-legendary. Non-legendary? Where does it say legendary? Oh, probably on the transform side. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay. Creates a legendary. This could be interesting. Are we at the end? 5 red to get 2 4/4 dragons flying. Not really something I like. I think we're done with that half part of it. So now's the hard part, which is going through the, I guess the boring part is more so accurate. So 36 main deck. So I'm now to go over the pre-con, I guess, and see what is in here that seems cool. I do kind of want to add the actual commander because... Wait, do I need to... I don't remember the name of it. Shield Maiden? Shield Maiden, okay. This is the boring part because zero thoughts going into this part. So I guess what I'm gonna do now is do this. So that you can at least see what I'm doing. I think you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, we're good. I got a Discord message. I hope that's not gonna ruin anything. Okay. Whenever it or another human enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until the end of the turn. Not really human deck, so I'm not gonna go for that. Bastion Protector is just good, so we're gonna add a Bastion Protector. This is like the boring part of the episode, I guess. I thought that said Deadly Departed. Again, not really human type, but we're gonna get rid of most of that stuff. With X and the second effect's too specific, and the first one I don't really like much, but we'll see. When it enters battlefield, when adult combat, okay, that's good for the monarchy stuff. Selfless Squire. Verge Rangers. If it'll show up. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. I'm not into this thing. Search your library for land card of your... There's easier ways to get lands. We'll come back to that later. If Combat Celebrant hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it as it attacks. When you do, untap all of the creature... Yeah, that seems good. Combat Celebrant? Yeah. Sec. Combat Celebrant. It's already in the precon, so... When it attacks, create a token that's a copy of another attacking creature that's tapped and attacking. Exile that token at the end of combat. That seems good because I can exile something with like ETB become the Monarch and I would become the Monarch. So I'm gonna go for it. Flame Rush Rider? It's not Flame Crush or anything, right? Frontier Warmonger? Yeah. That seems cool. That seems good. Frontier Warmonger, huh? 22. We have 22 creatures. The hard part is remembering where I was. Harsh Mentor. Whenever an opponent activates the ability of an artifact creature or land on the battlefield, if it is an Amanda ability, deal 2 damage to that player. That seems mean, but I'll go for it. I usually don't like things that are like mean. I guess it's not that mean, it's just I feel bad about like you take damage every time you do something. Zealous Conscripts. Enters the battlefield, gain control of target permanent to the end of the turn. Untap that permanent, gains haste. I don't like it, but so next up, Fiend Hunter. Isn't this a card that caused them to be forced to change wordings of this type of ability or something? Either way, I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. When Palace Jailer enters the battlefield to become the Monarch. Wait, what? Oh, we already have that in the deck. Okay. I'm like, wait, what? ETB untap, I'll create that. I don't like that. Draw two cards. Target opponent gains control of this card. Humble Defector seems funny as like a Monarch thing, or like a thing of politics. Champions of Midnight. I already have that in here. Exile. Okay, so it blinks. It blinks, but if you delay the blink, it comes back with a vigilance and lifelink. Sure, that seems pretty fun. Gilrain, I think. Oops. We'll go with that. I don't know how many. I think you want a lot of creatures for this deck, right? Because it's like combat focused. Flying Ward 3 when it enters the battlefield. Exile target player's graveyard. I'm not a huge fan of it. When it or another human enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep. Um, I'll go for it because I kind of want to go wide thing. I kind of want to. Whoops, there's two, so it's Lost Monarch, Captain. Don't know what that word means, but I'm sure I'll learn. Archivist of Gondor. I already have that in the deck. I already have Denethor in the deck. Gimli is already in the deck. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may look at the top 6 cards of your library. Reveal a human or artifact card from among them and put it in your hand. Sure. We seem to be running a decent number of artifacts because we don't even have staples like Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and stuff in her yet. I already have that in here. I already have that in here. Eh? No. Oh yeah, I'll run that. Prince Imrahil? I remember him. Prince Imrahil. So that's 28. Um, Theoden. Sure, sure. Theoden seems cool. So that's every creature, at least at the moment. Oh no, I told my friend I was gonna do this, and he said to add Council of the Four. What's it called? The Council of the Four. Um, whenever a player draws a card, second card to their turn, you may draw a card. Whenever a player casts their second, yeah, okay, I get it, because of the Monarch thing. That's a recommendation that I had. So, okay, so here's increasing devotion. I don't like this card. Visions of Glory would be cool, but this is 4 mana, so it would become 4 white white. 4 white white to create a 1/1 white human creature token for each creature you control. That seems fine. I guess I'll go for it. I just realized that okay, we're good. My V key doesn't work either, so I wouldn't be able to type this card in really well. Earthquake. No, because that would hurt me too. Supreme Verdict seems good. Let's go with Supreme Verdict. Okay. I already have that in there, and then this one is guard all creature your opponent controls into the next turn. Okay. That just seems good because you want to goat. You want to goad. You don't want to goat. You want to goad your opponent's creatures. Instance. Unbreakable Formation is just a card I really like, so let's go with that. I'm noticing an issue, and that issue is that when we get to 60, we already have 5 lands. Okay, we're good. We don't need to worry about that until we get to like 70, because we already have 5, and I usually run 36 lands. I mean, Path to Exile, Swords of Plowshares, those are good. So, is it Path to Exile or Path of? I always forget. Okay, and it's Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so far so good. Lost to Legend. That seems Non-land historic perm. That seems very specific. So I'm not going to go for it. Marshal's Anthem. Creatures you control get +1/+1. When it enters the battlefield, return X target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of times this was kicked. Too much of a mana sink, I think. Court of Fire. Okay, I already have that in here. Shared Animosity. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0. No, because it's not really a typal deck anymore. Not a huge fan of Banishing Light. I already have that in here, and I already have that in here. We're almost at the end. I already have that in here. I don't know, because if I declare how many humans do I have? I feel like a lot of these happen to be humans still. We just don't have a lot of human typal stuff in here. I don't think Door of Destinies is that good, so I'm gonna say no for now. Vanquisher's Banner is good. I actually have to remember. And the thing I have to remember is if I put those cards in zombies instead already. Yeah, I did. Okay, so no to that. Arcane Signet. Because I know this wasn't going to be a typal deck, so I might as well do Soul Ring. Probably Felwar Stone as a staple. I don't know if there's one L or two. There's two, right? Felwar Stone. Commander Sphere I don't like anymore. Heirloom Blade. Shoot. I'm up for an Heirloom Blade, I guess. Throat's dying. I'm gonna take a drink of soda. I apologize. Okay. I put that in zombies too. Talisman of Conviction. Oh, I like these. I like the talismans. Conviction and Progress, right? And then, yeah, Talisman of Progress. We're dangerously low. Or whatever. I don't... Is Thought Vessel the one I don't... I'm not huge into Thought... I'll go with Thought Vessel because I just think that, I thought I could get away with doing it without the fucking keyboard, like on-screen keyboard thing. I'll go with the Thought Vessel because I am going to be drawing a lot of cards. I thought Thought Vessel was the one that cost like 5 mana but tapped for like 3 or 4 colored mana or something. I'm up for Wayfarer's Bauble, so Wayfarer's Bauble. So 13 artifacts, that's actually more than I thought it would be. Now it's time for lands. Let's go with Island. I almost typed in Swamp because I'm used to black decks. Plains. And Mountain. I forgot what the name of mountain was for a second. Doesn't matter at this point. So, what do you people normally do for like 3 colors? It's like less lands than you would think. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. That seems good. That seems good. Okay. Let's see what lands are in here so I know what we're working with. Because lands are weird. Battlefield Forge seems good. And then Clifftop Retreat. I like Clifftop Retreat, sure. But the thing is, I think red is our least used color, which is weird, right? Is red our least? No, blue is. Blue. There's some generic things I want to add. Oh, because I want to add like counter spells and some draw spells. Because we kind of need those. Command Tower, Exotic, Orchard. What's the one? Path of Ancestry? Is that the one that matters? There's one that's good in this and one that's not as great in this. Yeah, that's the one that I like. Because I do have a lot of humans, and it's not really a big typal thing. Fury Charm, Snarl? Sure. This is the lamest episode yet. because we're just kind of stealing from a deck list from the pre-con, but I feel like I made a decent chunk of this myself. Glacial Forest? Glacial Fortress, sorry. Uh, Let me think. I'm gonna go for the bottom up, maybe? Because sometimes they hide the really good lands at the bottom. Secluded Courtyard seems nice. Because we have a lot of stuff that happens to be humans, you know? So Secluded Courtyard. Rogue's Passage. Yeah. This is the kind of thing you have to do when your G key doesn't work. Is like you have to type everything past the thing. I don't like Field of Ruin. I don't really like Windbrisk Kite stuff. No. I already have it in the deck, I mean. Sulphur Falls. What are the bounce lands that I like, that I think we should do? Let's do, Is it Boiler Works? And then Azorius Chancery? We'll do one of each of the three. So there's red, blue, and then Boros Garrison, I think. Yeah. 31 lands isn't a lot. I'm gonna add one more each of the basics, I guess. So let's go with boop, boom, boom. That's 34. And then, what other lands are good? Oh, the Triomes, right? What are they're not the Triomes, fuck. The lands that are red, white, and blue. Let's just type in land, and we'll, see what pops up, I guess, because I don't know the name of it. It's the one that taps for one of each of the colors in this thing, but it I'm over this as a secondary Rogue's Passage. It's the one that ETB's tapped and it like you get the three colors that you are. I don't remember what the name of the fucking one is for this colors combination. But I will find it. I'll find it. Jira, you can just cut. Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm probably gonna have to do. Um, See you guys in a moment. This is embarrassing. I don't remember the name of it. It's Mystic Monastery. It's Mystic Monastery. Would have been ages before I found that because it's in alphabetical order. Back to deck list. It's Mystic Monastery. Huh? Did I spell monastery wrong? Yes, I did. Okay, so that's 36 lands, which I think is an okay amount. So for the other 5 cards, this is the tough part. I'm going to go for Counterspell. Um, what else could be? I'm changing that immediately. Changing that immediately. I hate that art. Of course that's the one that's 17 cents. That's like the cheapest. Okay. I'm gonna change this one too, what the hell? Okay. So this is the hard part. I have 4 more cards to go. I guess I could go to the sideboard and see. I'll add him. Whoops, remove one. And then I'll put him in main deck. I'll actually have to check a few of these things. This seems okay. There's enough equipment to make this worth running. And we'll go with Court of Ire for an extra Monarch card. That's all 100. So that part's done. I think we did an okay job. This is probably going to need some tinkering. But I think as a baseline, I have a good thing going here. A lot more equipment than I thought I would. But that's just cool, I guess. Changing this land. I just hate Old Border. I just really don't like Old Border. I don't know. It's just something I'm not into. But, time for the other part of this video. which is the playtest. So let's do this 3 times, like normal. And then we'll playtest it no matter what it is. I'll draw a card for turn. I'd do a plains, and then I'd pass and hope that I draw a blue land. Not a blue land, but this works too. I still can't do anything though, so pass. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm seeing an issue. We need more islands, I think. Sure. I'll play these 3 for Gimli, and then pass. We need more blue mana. I would do like 2 and a white. Is 36 lands not enough? For path, search for glory, I would search my library for a card. View library. It has to be a legendary. Is it legendary card or legendary permanent? I can't tell because of the fucking legendary card. Okay. Is there anything that can get me more lands? Is what I'm worried about. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Theoden for now because I can actually make that, and then I'll pass. Okay, I'm noticing an issue. This is like a genuine issue. That's the end of this testing. Where do I get a blue land? A land that produces blue. That does, but only for legendaries. That does, but only for humans and only for creature spells. Command Tower would be the first time I get a blue. Yeah, that's the first issue. I guess I need more blue mana? I don't have enough. So what if I might have just got unlucky. Um, I'll take out a Boros Garrison and put in... I already have an Azorius Chancery. A blue land, huh? Hmm. What's a good blue land that I'm not thinking of? One moment. I added a prairie stream? I don't know. I always do like deal another hand 3 times just to be safe. So this, and then no matter what this is, I'll playtest it. Okay, draw. Hmm. I'm not playing anything turn 1 anyway, so I'll Path of Ancestry tap, and then pass, and draw. Plains? Hmm. Okay, so 1, 2 for an Arcane Signet. And now I'm okay on mana, for this hand at least. Do I need a bunch of mana right now? No, right? Red, 1 for Harsh Mentor, and then I can play a Mystic Monastery tapped. Okay, this is already going better, like instantly. White, white. Play an Azorius Chancery, bounce the plains. This seems pretty good, guys. At least from what I could tell. Whoops. I was supposed to click next turn and then I can draw that. Okay. And then I can play a plains. 1, red, white, blue for Aragorn. And then I scry 1. Keep that to the top. And then because of fucking flowering of the white tree. +2/+1. So this dude's a fucking... Where's set power toughness? +2/+1. So he's like a 6/5 right now. And then this guy's technically... This guy's not a legendary, so he's just a 3/3. And he has ward, and I become the Monarch. So... This seems pretty good. At least at a glance. And step a draw card. I don't know how many turns I should go for this. Like, to test Exotic Orchard. I control not... I don't control 2 or more legendary creatures. But I can go 1, 2, 3, play him, do 1, 2, blue, play this, scry 2, draw 2. So scry, bottom? Where's put to bottom? Shift L? Okay, and then I draw 2. Okay, this seems much better. We'll do one more playtest hand, and we'll see if it works out the way I want it to. This hand's a lot worse, I think. Oof. Is that all I have for lands? That and pass? It's tapped. Oh my gosh. This is the worst hand ever, man. This doesn't count. It does, but I mean that's 2 failure hands to 1 good hand, so that's a bit worrisome. Island pass, and then mountain or plains. I'll save that one because I can do a command tower instead, and then tap 2 for gold forged Thopteryx. That seems good for later. Scry 1. Put that at the bottom. I should be good, right? Because I can do this, and then I could play my commander. So blue, red, white, 1, Aragorn. And then they have ward 2. So this has flying, vigilance, ward 2, and I become the Monarch. Whoops, not Angel, Monarch. Ah, oh my goodness. The Monarch. Yeah, this seems pretty good. I think we're fine, like, you know what I mean? I'll just play this tapped, I mean, might as well. Yeah, this seems pretty good. At least as good as I want it to be for what I'm doing. There's a couple tweaks I might make, but that depends on you guys and your comments. So, I feel like this turned out okay. Again, I don't know anything about Lord of the Rings, so I don't know if anything about the lore, but I think, like, play-wise, this deck's good. I'm actually gonna switch these to the arts that I like really quick. At least the ones that have really weird, like, I don't like this. I don't like this border art thing. I'm a basic bitch. I'm like, can I just have the ones that are normal, standard art, please? Thank you. Like, I don't like the weird borders on anything. I'm the type of dude that even if I had all the money in the world, I would use the default skin and everything. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. So I guess that's all. If you have any tweaks that you'd like me to make, let me know. And I'm totally up for doing this. Like, I'm totally up for taking suggestions on how to fix up the deck more. Um, but this seems good as is for now, at least for now. So I think that's what I'm gonna do when I move or like in real life. You know what I mean? I hope you guys enjoyed this chill builds. I hope it was calming, I guess. Um, see you guys later. Have a nice day, guys.